Chapter 14, From Beginner to Expert, the Freelance Flywheel. On occasion, I take on select freelance writers as coaching clients. I love working one-on-one with writers who want to get a personalized crash course on how to grow their businesses and avoid the mistakes I made in my journey. Want to learn more about my coaching options? Visit amysudo.com/6-figure-freelancer. I was working with this one coaching client who was having a hard time getting started. She felt overwhelmed with all of the work that it took to get her career off the ground, and as she was searching through jobs, she felt discouraged. So I hopped on a call with her to break it down. Why getting started is so hard. The reason it's so hard in the beginning is because you don't have momentum yet, I explained on a call with my client. Nobody knows you're a freelance writer, so how should they know where to find you or how to hire you? Part of the work is educating potential clients on who you are and what you have to offer. But I got into freelance writing to write, not to be a full-time marketer, she said, distraught. And you won't be. Marketing is part of the job, sure. Any self-employed person has to learn how to market and sell one's skills. But do you know how much time I spend marketing my skills each week now? How much? Maybe an hour a week, that's it. Wow, but how do you get new clients? They find me through search engines, through social media, or through referrals from my past clients or people who know me. But most of my clients are returning clients, and the more clients I work with, the more that come back to me looking to hire me for more work. Do you see how that works? Yeah, but how long will it take me to get there? She asked. Well, how many clients do you have now? None yet. Exactly, and that's because you haven't even started yet. But because you have no clients and no track record, you don't have the momentum of people recommending you, finding your work, or seeing a freelance portfolio or website full of testimonials and past work. You're having to push so hard just to build those things, but once they're built, they start working for you. As a new freelancer, you have to build assets like a blog that create passive leads and interest in your work as a freelancer so that you don't have to go find new clients. Instead, they constantly find you. Got it, she said, perking up. So this isn't forever? Not in the least, I said with a smile. But this is the valley of darkness where most people quit. You have to get through this period in order to make it to the other side. The Freelance Flywheel: How Your Career Works for You. In his book, Good to Great, author Jim Collins breaks down the difference between good and great companies. He coined the term flywheel as it relates to companies. A flywheel was a device used in machinery that took a ton of effort to get moving. But once the discs started turning, the flywheel was unstoppable, speeding up and sustaining momentum as if by magic. When people ask me about how I've built a career as a six-figure freelancer, they're observing a flywheel I've spent years building momentum with. It looks like magic, but it's not. Here's the secret. New freelancers' flywheels start off with them exerting a lot of effort outwards. They have to expend a ton of energy learning their craft, building their portfolio, and when it comes to finding clients, all of their work is outreach. New freelancers have to actively sell and market their skills. But once you've gained experience and a reputation for great work, things start to reverse. As an expert freelancer or independent artist creative, you have a lot of incoming work that's been generated by past efforts. Your reputation compounds, your current clients come back to you, and they refer you to others. Your blog posts and internet presence also generates momentum and returns your time investment of creating those materials. When you're a new freelancer, it's hard to even comprehend what being an expert can look or feel like, which is why transparency is critical. As an expert, it's important for me to share a look behind the curtain so you can see how this stuff builds. What expert freelance writers have that you don't? People love talking about passive income. When it comes to freelance writing, the career itself is still active income for the most part, but what you can do is make parts of the process more passive. Some freelancers choose to outsource parts of their process like proofreading, editing, or lead generation. But the momentum of the freelance flywheel, when built correctly, can create passive leads for you forever, no outsourcing required. So, when you're examining the career of an expert freelancer and wondering, how on earth is that person making so much? Just know that Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will your freelancing career. You have to be in this for the long term. Anyone who promises you a get-rich-quick scheme is likely going to profit off of your greed. Nothing great in life can be accomplished without consistent time and energy, so know there aren't any shortcuts. Instead, apply strategies and build systems. This will optimize your energy and help it compound. Keep going. Remember that coaching client I mentioned at the beginning of this chapter? She's killing it. After understanding the concept of the freelance flywheel, she booked her first gig, a big win for her that launched her freelance career, and has been working nonstop ever since. Your first win might be one perspective shift away. Amy's field notes, from film school graduation to now. I was graduating from USC's prestigious film school. I was standing in a hallway, wearing my cap and gown, thinking about the future. All of us were talking about post-graduation, beaming with the excited energy of what was next. I hope we'll all make it, I said wistfully, as making it in the film industry was on my mind in those final days of school. One of my male classmates just grinned and replied, "Of course we all will." His confidence floored me. I knew he came from money and had industry connections already. But how could he be so sure? Was I missing something? Fast forward 7 years later. My former classmate is approaching 30 and is still an assistant. And me? Well, I've talked enough here about my journey. Neither of us made it, but I'm not rolling someone else's calls for them. Instead, I hire other people to help me with my creative projects and get to travel the world thanks to my freelance work. This isn't to brag. It's to show the difference between investing in turning your own flywheel or burning your prime years turning someone else's. If you're always contributing to someone else's momentum, you're never going to have time to build your own compounding returns. I create these voiceovers using Wondercraft AI, a text-to-speech tool that speaks in your voice so you can create more podcasts, audiobooks, and voiceovers, all by just dropping in some text. Use my code SUTO50, SUTO50, or the link in the description below to get 50% off your Wondercraft AI subscription. I get a small commission if you use my code, so thanks for your support. Sending creativity and good writing vibes your way. Amy.